Hey, buckle up. This is gonna be a deep dive into my design process. So stay with me, it's pretty interesting. In residential architecture, most people underestimate the complexity of the design process and assume that the process is simple. We design it, we draw it, we build it. But if you ever actually built a custom home, you know that leap from a fully evolved set of plans and a 3D design model into stamped, sealed construction drawings can really feel kind of abrupt, almost final, as if creativity suddenly hardened into concrete and cold technical drawings. Hey, I'm Jeff and I'm a licensed architect. Over the years, I've realized that transition from design into the technical drawings deserves more respect and requires some thoughtful time. So here's a deeper look at how I structure the design process, especially for complex, high-end homes in places like Lake Kiowee or the mountains of Asheville, North Carolina, where terrain, materials, and craftsmanship demand rigor of thought and selection. This is not a simplified version. This is the real guts of architecture. Schematic design starts at a 35,000 foot level with vision and form discussions. Longer meetings to discuss how my clients live, entertain, and relax. This is the phase where we listen and turn those ideas into lines and start to sketch. This is where we develop the initial floor plans, orient the house toward the right views, and explore the proportions and roof and form massing. We also develop a 3D model. This step is not a rendering exercise, it's a spatial laboratory. We test how the home sits on the land, how it meets the grade, how it frames the view, how roof planes intersect, and how circulation flows. We're asking foundational questions. What is the architectural language and character of this home going to be? How does the building form address the site? Where does the morning light enter? What is the emotional experience of arrival? At this stage, we are shaping intent. Through meetings and discussions with the client, we nail down the layout through a few iterations to get it right. The next phase is design development. Here, the architecture begins to gain structural and technical gravity. We study the exterior. The rhythms and spacing of the windows are refined for proportion and daylight performance. We start to develop structural concepts. The kitchen and bath layouts become defined in greater detail rather than just amorphous concepts. We're no longer asking, what could this be? We're asking, what is this? How will this work? And how do we put this thing together? Decisions start carrying cost implications. The home begins to declare itself and what it wants to be. Next is pre-construction alignment. This is where we validate the design we've developed and commit to our path forward. This is the phase that I believe is often missing in most design processes I've experienced. Instead of moving directly into full construction drawings, we pause and validate the architecture against the reality of budget. Builder input is always invited early, not to dilute the design, but to inform it, assist in guiding it in the right direction. System strategies are often discussed at this stage. HVAC distribution, framing methodologies, foundation types and materials, roof structure. And we confirm the materials, critical elements like windows, masonry veneer, fireplaces, roof assemblies are reviewed for performance and budget alignment. It's where aesthetic ambition and fiscal responsibility meet and negotiate honestly. The goal is to eliminate surprises later, not eliminate character of the home. The next phase of my design process is the technical documentation, where the building assembly is documented and defined through drawings and written specifications. Only after full alignment with the builder do we move into this kind of rigorous documentation. This is where architecture becomes anatomy. We define the wall assemblies and waterproofing details, the roof drainage and flashing conditions, structural coordination, interior design collaboration, thermal and moisture control detailing, interior finish detailing. This phase is less visible on social media, but it's where integrity lives. If a house fails, it rarely fails because of the floor plan. It fails because of water intrusion. This stage protects the client, the builder, and the architecture of the building itself. The next phase is the finish and fixture documentation, what I like to call crafted interior. Once the envelope and the structure are technically disciplined, we turn to the experience layer. Typically, we have already engaged the services of an interior designer who assists with this phase, where we coordinate cabinetry elevations with cabinet suppliers. We often assist in the design of furniture-grade pieces like the kitchen island. We do a deeper dive into the kitchen layout, reviewing appliance locations, cabinet and drawer locations. The fireplaces in the homes I design are focal points and require a great deal of detailing. We also discuss lighting philosophy, whether that be recessed can lighting or surface-mounted fixtures, defining ambient, task, and accent lighting types. This is where a room can really shine. Molding and trim profiles, stair railing and tread design, wall and ceiling finishes. Now the home begins to express its personality through material precision. This is where sequencing matters. Emotion layered on top of discipline produces architecture that feels both beautiful and grounded. I always request the builder provide a mock-up on site for all of us to review. The stone can be viewed in actual daylight, the roofing materials can be seen and approved, the intersections of stone and trim can be studied, paint colors are evaluated against the surrounding area and the lighting, and window profiles are kind of confirmed within the context of the structure. So why structure matters is a disciplined process, not just a burden. It is risk management. It is cost clarity. It is respect for craftsmanship. It is protection against the emotional and the financial strain that surprises can create later. Architecture isn't just about how a house looks in a rendering. It's about how it performs in rain and heat and humidity. It is about how it ages gracefully. It's about how decisions compound. When the transition from design into construction is thoughtful rather than abrupt, clients experience the confidence instead of anxiety. That confidence is not accidental, it's structured. And structure, when done properly, creates freedom, the freedom to build something enduring. If you're curious about how this kind of process could apply to your own project, I am always glad to have that conversation with you. Thanks.